guys, welcome back to MLC TV, the YouTube home Memory Lane Comics. I'm Jake.
I'm Eric.
And we're going to talk about today the Kotobukiya collection fine art statue, Danger Room, X-Men Danger Room Session Series.
What'd you
Wolverine.
say, bub? Sneak it, sneak,
Highway
to the Danger Room. Okay. We're ready.
We're ready? All right,
No
let's do
more
this thing, man.
Berserker. We're ready to go right Wolverine style.
Right out of the gate, man, it's got the cool Kotobukiya collection gold lettering there. That's pretty rad.
They do it on all their boxes. So
then,
even if you didn't get an X-Men box, like if you got the Venom, they did the same thing. You could,
the Avengers Classic Fine Art Collection.
Exactly.
Yeah, so whatever you'd like to get. Switching over to the embossed Wolverine logo there. I think that they do a good job with this stuff because you can kind of, if you look at this other side here with the photos of the statue, use whatever side you'd like to display with your statue.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, the boxes, we're getting more into the world of the statues are starting to look so good that the boxes have to be art themselves, and Kotobukiya does it. This is a art. This is, if you display it like this and you had a whole row of them, how great would that look above your statues? Yeah. And then as a comic shop like us, if we didn't have room and we were a little low on statue space, you display the box like this, and it gives you so many different angles of what you're looking at inside. So for me, the box is perfect.
We're pretty excited about the thing, man. We got number 2101 out of 3,300, so it's a fairly low number.
It's fairly low.
We're right there in the middle. Let's check out this statue.
Let's open it up. Get it over there and open it. I'm really excited. They've been doing a whole Danger Room series over the past 2 years. They've done a Gambit, a Psylocke. So if you have any of those, this statue is meant to go perfectly with them. So let's get it. We've already pre-cut it.
We pre-cut it just so everybody's on the same page, because when we pre-cut it and opened it the first time,
there's no top and bottom.
You want to make sure that you got the Kotobukiya side on the top, because
that's
they loosely put these heads in here.
So if you open it bottom first, the heads are going to immediately fall. I'm going to start with the base. I'll get this set up while you get out Wolvie himself.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Wrapped up for no scratching. I'll just set that right there on the center. Jake's getting those. One thing I really love, they put the claws inside of these foam to really protect them from breaking. I mean, they're just little bitty claws there. And packaging wise, they've really made sure, other than the top and bottom issue, which they really did solve by putting their logo on it, you know, everything's wrapped in a way that this thing's not gonna break on its way to you, and that's so important.
And then the magnetic parts of it, that none of this stuff pops into place, so there's not a peg that you can break off. You're not having to worry about the peg, the drill hole, or the paint being in the drill hole, so you have to kind of shove that piece in there. They've done a really good job of just making stuff where you just get the thing close to it and it goes whoop.
Yeah, it snaps right in. I mean, as soon as you get there, boom, it's in.
Right out of the gate, I love this thing. This is the character that is probably the reason I own the comic book store. I grew up and fell in love with the X-Men animated series, and to the point that my dad was walking out of the door, I'd be like, where are you going, Dad? He'd go, I go where I want to go, bub. And I'd be like, I'm going to Lowe's.
I think the first time I heard bub, I was just, I don't know what it was. It's just, I'd known about superheroes, but I never met a superhero that was a good guy that did not feel like a good guy. He was rough, he was tough, he didn't care what anyone had to say.
He was the baddest dude around. And
he still is. He's dead right now, so he's not too bad. But, for the most part, Wolverine's the guy. He's always been my favorite. Jake's brother tends to think Cyclops is better than Wolverine. We all know that's not true. And we'll get right into this statue.
Let's start off at the base here, man. We're sticking with this Danger Room look of the Danger Room floor. They all match up together, so you can display any of these guys. It's with the cool little X's.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job. The paint this chrome paint is gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks perfect. There's no flaws on the base. The silver looks good. There's a little almost diamond plating at the bottom, and then you go right into the Sentinel Head. And the one thing I was pointing out to Jake earlier when we were looking at the other one is I never noticed Sentinel eyes are actually cooling fans, and you don't know that until you get right up on the statue, because this Sentinel Head, it looks like Wolverine has shredded it. There's wires on the back that are exposed, big vents, and then right in the eyes, just this cooling fan that you're like, oh my god, how did they do that? And
it's rad, man. It looks like as far as something that, so we reviewed so many Hot Toys lately, I'm almost expecting, where's the light up button?
Yeah.
But the paint, this glossy kind of high sheen paint has a really good look to it, to where the light's popping on it and it looks like it
looks good.
Light up. They did a really good job.
It's a great base. I mean, the base itself just has so much life to it, and I like that because before you even get to the statue, you're like, oh wow, is he on a Sentinel Head? And that's just cool to me. Then we'll go right up. We're gonna work bottom up today. The boots are the most disappointing feature of the statue for me, and it's not that they're really bad. It's just they're almost too round. The paint, when the legs come into it, the yellow almost went a little too far over. It's kind of leaking into the black. For me, the boots are the one part of the statue that don't feel real. They're a little flat.
This, like, until you pointed it out to me, wasn't at all an issue, and it still really isn't because it's not where my eyes go.
It's the feet.
Yeah, but it's and I think you can kind of excuse it because you'd expect the boots aren't gonna be like the rest of his costume is skin tight.
No, you're right. Well, but at the same
for...
time, you're saying they're not skin tight, but they added in muscle detail into the boots, so they are skin tight. They're not a thick boot, so they're supposed to be like a cloth type boot. So for me, it was a little flat. Like I said, it's not gonna ruin the statue. It's the feet, but it is the one part that I did not get blown away by.
Working right up to the torso, this is the Wolverine that's the little hulking guy that is so completely badass.
He's a ball of muscle.
He's absolutely awesome. And I mean, they made Hugh Jackman look like that after putting him on all kinds of HGH and stuff to make him like the most pumped up guy in history. But this is the Wolverine that I grew up with. That was the runt.
5'1".
Everybody picked on him for being tiny, and then he would just tear you up. I love it.
The muscles are great. My favorite part is right where the belt hits his stomach. It actually looks like the muscles are folding over because he's so hunched. And I just feel, anatomy-wise, they really did some research into how the body would hunch over.
Yeah.
Because right there, you can see the ribs stick out. He's a little sucked in, and it's just perfect. I mean, you work up into the chest, you can start to see veins popping through his...
Well, he's got that like kind of Maurice Jones-Drew little running back kind of body going on that you'd expect from a guy who's going to be 5'1", 5'2", but still weigh 200 some pounds.
Oh, I'm not going against this guy.
Yeah, like it's awesome.
When you work up, paint still looks great on the torso. They really did a good job of separating the yellow and the brown. What I really like with Kotobukiya is they do almost like a flat paint job. This isn't shiny. It's not, because a lot of like the Bowen statues, they do like a really glossy paint, but clothes don't look like that. So with this feels more real to me.
The flat look is great.
And then when you work into the arms, me and Jake talked about this a little earlier. I was a little upset that they etched in his arm hair. So when you look at the statue up close, you can tell he's got arm hair everywhere, but from afar, it's kind of hard to see. And Jake pointed out, well, if they painted it black, it would have just been like a black ball. Because
he's too hairy.
He's hairy.
I actually like that they etched this in, so we have a differing opinion on that. I think it's great. You can clearly see a little bit of a line where the magnetic
connects
meets, but it's also at the point that the glove meets. So
if they didn't do the magnet and they did a peg, there's a good chance you're going to break it putting in the claws. I'd rather have a little bit of separation and know that my statue, because I love how quick and easy these come out, and when they're in, they're not coming out.
Speaking of claws, these are fantastic.
Oh yeah,
they're perfectly spaced. They look.
They're not too big. They're not too overwhelming. I feel like he's whipping these out at any point. Because sometimes with the statues, they'll go a little long. They'll go a little too shiny for me.
Well, they're like spread on.
Yeah,
they did a really great job.
It comes out of the glove just the way it did in all the early stuff. So far up to the torso, all the way down to the claws, this thing is so flawless. It just looks great. His hands are clenched so hard. You're seeing veins and just muscle just pop everywhere.
Now, the spot where this thing wins me over entirely is his face is so perfectly Wolverine. The grimace there, he's so pissed off. And he's training. It's so perfect. I love the color and the head sculpt is great. The white eyes, I just thought they nailed it.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, when you get to the very back of the head, you can kind of see where they were struggling not to paint too much, which you'd expect. I'd rather have less spray than overspray on a paint job. So the mask is just so killer. I love the way the cowl pops out. I mean, when I was a kid, I always wondered, is that his hair? Is he poking his hair into those things? And that's what it looks like. I mean, they nailed it. This masked head is so cool. And just like the claws, it pops out magnetically, really strong, and then you can pop in the second head they give you, which is the unmasked, almost berserker style Wolverine.
Yeah, now this one is really cool. They send this one with you. I would never personally take him out of the box and put his head in, but no. I was never into the idea of
Logan. You're not looking for Logan. You want Wolverine.
I want my X-Men cartoon Wolverine to be sitting there. So, which I know he took his mask off a ton in that show, anyways. But
not when he was fighting. For the most part, he left that mask on fighting. I feel this is more the I've ripped my mask off. I've had a hard fight. I'm ready to go. Jake was pointing out that's like if you had a saber-toothed statue, this is how you do it.
Yeah, I think depending on the foe, you know, or the situation, you can kind of change that up. Because I think you'd want that kind of raw berserker look.
Well, I like the grimace for the training.
Freaked out.
Oh yeah, this is total berserker. I mean, he has had enough. He's done fighting. He's ready to end the fight. So it really depends who you're displaying it with. That I think that you choose the head. I think if he's by himself, there's no way I don't do it without the mask.
Because the thing is, he's lost it right here.
Yeah.
This head, you can see the idea of him training or getting ready to fight. But this head, he has lost his crap.
Oh yeah.
And he's ready to go for it.
They did a really good job with the paint on the hair. They put in just a little bit of blue with his black hair to give it just a little, almost like some lighting is in there, which I liked. You know, black would have almost been too solid. But then the ears they're a little.
Well, he's just got a lot of hair. You know, it's covered.
He does, and they really couldn't put too much detail in the ears, I guess. So, you know, at that point, I'm kind of nitpicking. But the ears really don't match the hair for me. They're a little too flat.
Well, I guess how many snicks do you give this thing, Eric?
I give it snick, 4 out of 5.
I completely agree. I think you can't 4 to 5 to me is a great grade.
That is a great statue.
It's and I love that this thing can be sit on your shelf by itself, looking perfect. Or if you've got more X-Men, he fits in immediately. Like this Room Sessions collection. Fill him in with all different kinds of X-Men. We've had him in the shop displayed against Hulk and Juggernaut at different times.
Which is so perfect.
We have a second copy here at the store. And it looks so cool set up with these other guys. Very impressed by that look.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. They have continuously been fighting against Bowen, and I think this is the statue that really makes you see, okay, I don't really need to choose between Bowen and Kotobukiya anymore. Now I'm kind of like, well, Kotobukiya has really taken the cake. I mean, their poses are so lifelike. I think that's the difference.
It's definitely gotten better and better and better. And we haven't posted against. We'll show you the Juggernaut Fine Arts Collection one, as well as the classic Hulk.
Just to show you what we think you can do with them. You know, I hope you guys really enjoy these reviews. We want to hear your feedback. Let us know what you think of the statue. Let us know anything at all. Go down to your local store, check this guy out. He is a must-have for any X-Men fan, and it's a can't miss.
He's a monster. Check it out.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching our video, guys. Don't forget to check out all of our other videos on MLC TV on YouTube.
Check out our website, mlcshop.com. You can find all kinds of cool new information, all of our picks of the week. It's an awesome website.
And if you're ever in Wilmington, don't forget to stop by and check us out. We got a huge shop we love to share with the world. And thanks, guys.